Speaking out, though, about racist fans threatening her, let's listen to her on her new podcast. She had a fantastic season in the WNBA. She's a star.
Caitlin Clark fans, we need to talk. A WNBA owner just called you out and it's not looking good. But before you get mad, let's dig into what's really going on. Is this owner right, or is there more to the story? Trust me, you're gonna want to hear this. So here's the deal. Renee Montgomery, co-owner of the Atlanta Dream, just dropped a bomb about Caitlin Clark's fans. She's saying some of you are taking things way too far. We're talking death threats to Angel Reese and creepy AI images. That's wild, right? But hold up, is this really happening? Have you seen this stuff? Or is Montgomery exaggerating? It's a crazy situation and we need to talk about it. Are Clark's fans really crossing the line? Or is this just another day in the world of sports drama? Let's break it down and see what's really going on in the WNBA fan world. Let's talk about superfans for a second. You think you know what it means to support your favorite player? Well, some folks are taking it to a whole new level. We're not just talking about jerseys and face paint anymore. This is getting wild. Renee Montgomery, co-owner of the Atlanta Dream, just dropped a truth bomb about some Caitlin Clark fans. She's saying they're crossing lines you wouldn't believe. We're talking death threats and creepy AI images. That's not just crossing the line, that's jumping over it and sprinting into crazy town. But hold up, is this really happening? Montgomery's using an analogy that might sound familiar to football fans. She's saying it's like Falcons fans hating on the Saints. That's normal rivalry stuff, right? But then she draws a hard line. When fans start making threats or creating weird AI images.
Whenever you think of Angel Reese, people often mention Caitlin Clark. You've said in interviews, there's no beef, but the media keeps going on.
That's when it goes from passion to problem. Now, Clark's fans aren't taking this lying down. They're hitting back, questioning why they're being singled out. And you know what? They've got a point. Is this really just a Clark fan problem, or is it bigger than that? Here's where it gets even spicier. UConn coach Gino Auriemma has already taken shots at Clark's fans. He called them disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad name. Ouch. That's not just a jab, that's a full-on haymaker. But Auriemma's not just trash talking. He's worried these super high expectations could mess with Clark's career. Think about it. When fans put you on such a high pedestal, there's only one way to go, down. And that fall, it can hurt. So we've got team owners, legendary coaches, and fans all duking it out. But here's the million-dollar question. Is this just about Caitlin Clark, or are we looking at a bigger issue in sports fandom? Let's be real for a second. Every sport has its share of toxic fans.
So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully. Caitlin is an amazing player, and I've always thought she was an amazing player. We've been playing each other since high school.
You know, the ones who take things way too far. But is women's basketball dealing with something different here? Are we seeing a new level of fan behavior that's crossing lines we've never seen before? Or is this just the same old story, but with a new star at the center? Maybe Clark's massive popularity is just shining a spotlight on issues that have always been there. After all, when you're the biggest name in the game, everything around you gets magnified. Caitlin Clark's rookie season has been like putting the WNBA under a microscope. But here's the million-dollar question. Is all this attention actually good for the league, or is it creating a black hole that's swallowing up everything else? Let's break it down. Clark's been tearing up the court, leading the Indiana Fever to the playoffs for the first time in 8 years. That's huge. But get this, the record's only 2019. Not exactly championship material, right? But you wouldn't know it from all the hype. Since Clark joined the team, the Fever's gone from who to wow. They're one of the most talked about teams in the WNBA now. It's like Clark sprinkled some magic basketball dust on them or something. But here's where it gets tricky. Clark's not just living up to the hype. She's smashing through it like a wrecking ball. She's a favorite for Rookie of the Year, and she's already got the WNBA single season assists record. That's insane for a rookie. But you know what's crazier? All this pressure on Clark. It's like she's carrying the whole team on her shoulders, and it's not all smooth sailing. Her partnership with fellow rookie Aaliyah Boston, it's hit some rough patches. Boston's offense has taken a hit, and there was even that messy situation with a Dallas Wings player. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is Clark's stardom good for the WNBA, or is it causing problems? Some fans are worried that all this focus on Clark is pushing other players and teams into the background. Now think about it. When was the last time you heard about any other WNBA player that wasn't connected to Clark somehow? It's like she's become the sun, and everything else is just orbiting around her. But here's the thing. Clark's not doing this on purpose. She's just playing her heart out, breaking records, and living up to the massive expectations people have for her. But is that enough? Or is the WNBA becoming the Caitlin Clark show? It's a double-edged sword, right? On one hand, Clark's bringing tons of attention to the league. More eyes on the WNBA is a good thing. But on the other hand, if it's all about Clark all the time, what happens to the rest of the league?
No, She has no hate for her rival, Caitlin Clark. There's nothing going on there. The hate, though, is coming towards Angel Reese. Racism.
So how do we fix this mess without losing Clark's star power? Turns out there's a wild card nobody's talking about. It could change everything, but only if the league plays it right. Renee Montgomery, co-owner of the Atlanta Dream, just dropped a truth bomb about fan behavior. She's not just talking about cheering too loud or booing the other team. We're talking about fans crossing lines that shouldn't be crossed. Death threats, creepy AI images, that's not fandom, that's straight up scary. But here's the thing, it's not just about getting rid of the bad apples. It's about creating a whole new vibe for the WNBA. Imagine a league where fans are passionate but respectful, where rivalries are fierce but friendly. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it might be closer than you think. Montgomery's not just pointing fingers, she's laying down a challenge to every WNBA fan out there. She's saying, hey, we built this league for everyone. Let's keep it that way. It's like she's drawing a line in the sand between real fans and trolls. And you know what? She might be onto something. Think about it. What if we could harness all that Caitlin Clark energy and use it to lift up the whole league? Instead of pitting fans against each other, we could be creating a supercharged WNBA community. More fans in the stands, better coverage on TV, a league where everyone feels welcome. That's the kind of win-win situation we're talking about. But it's not just up to the fans. The league's got a part to play too. They need to get creative with ways to promote positive engagement. Maybe it's special events that bring fans together or online campaigns that showcase the best of WNBA fandom. The possibilities are endless. And let's not forget about the players. They're the heart and soul of this league. Imagine if every player, not just the superstars, had a loyal fan base cheering them on. That's the kind of support that can take a good player and make them great. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if this whole Caitlin Clark situation is actually a blessing in disguise? Maybe it's forcing us to have conversations we should have had a long time ago about respect, about sportsmanship, about what it really means to be a fan. So here's the million-dollar question. Are you ready to be part of the solution? Because the future of the WNBA isn't just about what happens on the court. It's about what happens in the stands, on social media, and in communities across the country. It's about fans like you stepping up and showing what real support looks like. All right, let's talk about where we go from here. The WNBA's got a fan problem, and it's not just about Caitlin Clark. Renee Montgomery's put it out there. We need to clean up our act. She's saying, it's okay to be a diehard fan, but being racist, sexist, and violent with your words? Come on now, what are we doing? Here's the deal. We can love our teams and players without tearing others down. It's not rocket science. The WNBA needs us to step up and be better. Imagine a league where every player feels respected, where rivalries are fierce but fair. That's the dream, right? So here's your challenge. Be a fan that lifts the whole sport up. When you see someone crossing the line, call them out. Remember, how we act as fans can make or break the future of women's basketball. Are you in?